tunataka kuhesabu tujue rafiki yetu ni nani na adui ni nani. Hawezi kuwa kila siku unatudanganya kwamba wewe ni rafiki, lakini usiku nikitoka wewe unaingia unaanza kutamani bibi yangu. Haiwezekani. Mtu kama anafuata bibi yako, wewe ni mtu tena ya kuja kujiita rafiki? Tumesema wasimamishe watu vile wanataka. Kwa wale wenzetu ambao tulikuwa nao kwa NASA, mimi nimeambiwa, nimepewa idhini na Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga mwenyewe, baada ya hii uchaguzi waandike instruments of divorce. Mimi nimepewa idhini kusign hiyo agreement mara moja, tupeleke kwa registrar tufange maneno ya NASA. Kwa sababu haiwezekani kila siku wewe unasema wewe ni rafiki, wakati wana Kibra wanaamka kwenda kuapisha baba, wewe unaingia chini ya kitanda. Wakati ambapo tunasema tufuate BBI na handshake, wewe unapinga hiyo na bado unajiita rafiki. Alafu sasa unakuja kuingiza kisu ndani ya roho ya chama ya ODM.
Tumefika pahali wenzetu wengine ambao tulianza nao NASA siwezi kuwatambua, sijui sura nini imefanyika.
All right, those sentiments by the ODM Secretary General Sifuna were quite targeted. A rather good place to begin this discussion on the fallout in the NASA coalition than ANC party.
Maybe you allow the
Junaid to talk about it. No, I want to begin it right here because
since he always wants to be the one speaking.
No. With a full of a bag of documents.
Let's go.
You came with a full bag of documents.
But it's very simple.
Yes.
I tell him not to
interrupt
We
you.
are not in your school or class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We are not.
We're not literature students.
No, you are not capable of literature. So we won't go there because you're not capable of literature.
No.
Now, look, getting out of NASA does not require special documents. It is very clearly spelled there under Article 15 that the coalition shall stand dissolved where any three of the coalition parties decide to leave the coalition.
Okay.
If ODM wants to leave the coalition, they just write a letter to the registrar of political parties, and they say that in accord with Article 15(3), we hereby leave NASA. We are notifying you that we have left. There are no special documents to be prepared by anybody.
Okay.
So the people who keep on prancing around and saying, let them prepare documents, it's a lot of childish bravado. And I think that when an elder sends children to speak for him, they sometimes mess him up. Let the people who think that they are not happy about NASA quit. When you come to Article 9 on elections and nominations, it is very clear that we will consider fielding one candidate for every parliamentary seat. Article 9(1) says that the coalition shall field a presidential candidate and a running mate. But then we go on to say that we can discuss, negotiate, and agree on fielding a single candidate, or if we want, we can have a joint primary, or that all member parties may field candidates. I don't know where someone has gotten the notion, therefore, that other people were not allowed or should not have participated in this election, by-election. We had Embakasi South the other day, and Embakasi South, ODM subjected Wiper to attrition through the courts. And after that, they even followed them to their constituency to sponsor a candidate. When does it become right for us to look at ourselves as friends? And when does it become wrong for another party to also field a candidate? Finally, these people have been spoiling to vacate, basically because they have been trying to run away from the coalition where it talks about the sharing of funds from the political parties' fund. And the agreement, again, is there. They have said there are no guidelines. The guidelines are here, which you can read and see for yourself.
Even as you're reading, I'll speak to Chris, because your party leader once say the divorce will be noisy and messy.
Yeah, you can see the noise is there.
Yes.
The mess is there.
Yes.
But what Honorable Barak has said, we are in a coalition, yes, and the coalition we entered willingly, and the document was registered at the Register of Political Parties. It was deposited. It's unfortunate what Sifuna says, and Sifuna is bitter because he has never won an election, and he was thrashed by Ford Kenya in Bungoma. And when he came to Nairobi, some of the votes he got partly were contributed by the entire coalition. So if a person has not won, you can see the bitterness. And if he continues like this, he'll never win an election. Maybe he'll go to parliament through nomination or whatever it is. So we have a coalition document, which we all respect. And for ODM, previously, when they've been getting money from the political parties fund, it is true they've been sharing with us. I think you know about this.
But that's a gentleman agreement. There's nothing that forces ODM to share this fund except this coalition agreement.
Which is registered. This is a legal document.
A legal document, but is it superior to the political parties?
The Political Parties Act,
Yes.
which you haven't read from the way I hear you to be framing the question,
Yes.
allows members of a coalition to form regulations on how they are going to share funds.
Exactly. Regulation out of the main document, which is an act of parliament,
The
right?
Act of Parliament
Yes.
is the mother document which gives birth to
Maybe-
this.
So this-
maybe allow me to finish.
Yes.
Please.
It is true. When you look at the Political Parties Act, there's a provision for pre and post MOUs.
Exactly,
And
yes.
once you do that, you deposit them with the Register of Political Parties. And as I said earlier, when ODM were getting the money, actually they were giving us. But what happened? The law talks of 0.3%, but they were getting less. And this matter was taken to court, Honorable Alwach of Madare. And the budget committee chair is here. And I remember that particular time, you could not provide funds because they were not available. And there was a promise that in the new financial year, the provision will be there.
Which we did.
Yeah, so my assumption is, if ODM as a big brother gets the money,
Yes.
I have no doubt it will be extended to us.
All right. Before I come to the two gentlemen, because I really want Mheshimiwa to weigh in, I'd like to ask you a question based on this, because you were saying this is an MOU that stems from the Act of Parliament, the political parties.
I'm not finished. I wish you give me time.
Okay.
And if we dissolve NASA,
Yes.
a particular party is free to write a letter to the Register of Political Parties that we want to dissolve this. And there must be a minimum of three.
Out of the
Because
coalition.
NASA has
Yes.
ODM, Ford Kenya, Wiper, and ANC. So you write to the Registrar of Political Parties your intention to withdraw.
Yes.
So until we have a minimum of three, because three is actually the threshold,
The coalition stands.
this coalition stands.
Okay.
We might not be working together or having different ideologies, which is allowed, but NASA still
stands?
exists.
Okay. Let me come back to Barak. This is an MOU. To me, an MOU is a gentleman's understanding from the MOUs that we've known.
Not when
It has
it
a
is
legal
not when
binding.
It
it
has a
is
legal
registered.
binding. That's my point. It has a legal binding. What is the recourse in case they don't give you money now that it has a legal, it's
First,
binding legally?
money is not really the issue. There are many other things. In fact, the contestation at this time is not about money. The contestation has been that we fielded candidates, and because of that, we have taken a lot of beating, including very physical beating, where from the Stone Age have been thrown at us in a Zinjanthropus fashion. But there are other things, like Article 9 here of the addendum talks about power sharing in the legislature.
Okay.
And which causes my brother here
For Kenya, yes.
to tread very carefully.
I know.
Yeah?
Okay.
Because
freedom of
because he
you can't say that I'm
We know what
is-
happened in the
he
Senate.
is the deputy.
I'm an elected.
Yeah? He is this
Whip.
one here is
Yes.
the whip.
Yes.
And this one is the deputy. And he's the deputy by dint of this Article 9 of
Okay.
this addendum on sharing power, where these positions have been listed. So he has to tread like he's
But we
walking
work together very well.
on eggshells, yeah, just in case something happens.
Okay.
However, this coalition agreement talks about arbitration. We have reached that point where we expect that there's going to be arbitration. And if there is no arbitration, incidentally, don't treat this as if it's just a simple paper gentleman's agreement. It is registered with the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. It is recognized by the Political Parties Act. It is recognized even by the institution of Parliament.
Okay.
That is why you have a chief, a minority whip here, and you have got his deputy here, and they are both recognized in the August.
Great.
House.
Well said. Let me bring Junaid Mohammed. What is the source of this conflict? He says it's about, it's not even the political parties' fund.
You know,
it's much more than that.
You see, this is not a matter I want to spend a lot of time on it. First, there is no party called NASA. This is a coalition.
Yes.
I belong to ODM party. He belongs to ANC, he belongs to Ford Kenya. When I was running in 2017 in my constituency, my opponent was ANC candidate. And his party leader came there and campaigned for him.
That's Suna East.
Suna East. And campaigned for him, you know, Odipo.
Yes.
His party leader was there for 2 days, on Friday and Saturday, campaigning against me. And we were in the same coalition. Now, this was a coalition that was formed purely to come together and capture power. That didn't happen. There is nothing to share here. There's nothing. Secondly, if I may go to the issue of the funds, it's okay. We can discuss as gentlemen. But the registrar of political parties, I don't know whether this document is authentic because he only came with his copy. I didn't come with my copy. And I don't know whether he's speaking on behalf of ANC because this morning I was watching his party leader, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, on Citizen TV saying Barak has his own opinion.
It's yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yeah. I was watching in my house.
Confusion.
So, let me tell you something.
Say that.
He said that. It's on record. Now, these political parties fund, the registrar of political parties, where we deposited this document, appeared before a committee of the Parliament and confirmed that there is no agreement between NASA on how to share funds. I don't have any agreement. He said, on record.
You see,
Give me, I was quiet when you were speaking.
This
I was quiet.
spoken a lot. This time
You see, my friend, give me time.
I'll come back to you. Ishuma is really waiting. All right.
But what am I going to finish? I have not
He
finished.
wants to interject.
I was quiet when he was talking.
This time I will.
We are coming to you. I'm coming back to you.
Because you are supporting his views.
Projecting throughout. This
Give him.
time
Bure
I will
kabisa.
interject.
Okay.
First of all, I cannot hold myself responsible for ignorance in the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. If you are sitting there with a document which has been stamped and signed by yourself, and you can come before a committee of Parliament and say that you are not aware of that agreement, I'm not responsible for the mess
Just let him finish. Are you
in that institution.
Yes.
Secondly, this is a gentleman who has been lying through his teeth here on this show throughout on things which are in the public domain.
You have lied more
He
than
goes
me.
and
Because these are fake SG in the first place.
He robs
I recognize Sotsi as the Secretary General of the documents are fake.
It doesn't matter. You are not the one
documents.
to recognize me.
But how can we discuss fake documents?
The people to recognize me are there, and he's not one of them.
And I don't want to
Let's
be.
come back to
I don't want to
be.
I don't want to be
I don't want to
recognized
be.
by some
Mheshimiwa.
contraband individual who goes to Migori and disguises himself as a Luo.
My friend,
Yeah.
you have you contested in your homeland
I don't want to,
5 times and you lost.
I don't want
My
to,
friend,
I don't want to
people
Mheshimiwa
of
Junaid,
people of Butere, I don't know where it is.
Mheshimiwa Junaid. All right. Let me
People
go
of
to
Butere,
Mheshimiwa.
they
Let me
refused
go
to
to
elect you
Ishuma.
5 times, and you are telling. In fact, I should be proud.
Junaid,
No,
can I go to
I
Mheshimiwa?
must respond to that.
It's
No,
not just
no,
a heckler.
this is my friend. This
Mheshimiwa, you have to
is
speak.
a matter.
Let
You
me-
are
let
getting
me-
a
You
lot of
have said there's no NASA.
Let me
So why
just
does
say
it
this.
become a NASA
Can
matter?
we listen to Mheshimiwa? Yes.
I've just
Peruse through it.
perused
Yes.
through these documents, and it has stamps from the Registrar of Political Parties. And I wanted to tell Barak, don't take offense when Junaid says it is a fake document, because he lies through and through, and you have seen it. You saw it from the clips
So
you
that
played
means
here
that
and
they are
what he was
together.
saying. Number two,
They are together.
Number two, The issues that are being conversed about the political parties fund, I can tell you, prior to Jubilee being formed as one party in just before the 2017 elections, we had URP and TNA. That was formed again through a gentleman's agreement, through an MOU, which I don't even think was registered with the Register of Political Parties. But we did share our funds even that time.
Okay.
Therefore, it's only when you are genuine, when you are honest, that
this happens.
you get
Okay.
to. But when you're dealing with a party of goons, hooligans, and
Let's not
fraudsters,
go. Let's not go there.
no,
again.
no.
That's
ODM has
Let's not go there. Let's concentrate on this.
ODM
Yes.
has manifested
Listen,
itself not
this-
just as a party
give
of
me
goons,
time.
Yes.
thuggery,
This
but
guy
now
interrupted
they're also
me.
becoming fraudsters. But the thing is, and I want to agree with Chris Wamalwa, it's not about these fraudsters with the political parties fund. It is about Kibra. I am telling you, the desperation that was there over Kibra was real.
Okay.
It is true what Barak is telling you, that in Embakasi South, Honorable Mawadhe's constituency, Wiper fielded a candidate, and Honorable Sumra was fielded by ODM. Why is it that in Embakasi South, where ODM
It was okay.
is fielding a candidate and Wiper is fielding a candidate, it's okay? But when you feel that your perceived bedroom is under threat, you not only call other thieves, governor thieves, to come and help you in the bedroom, but you also now start
I think
attacking your coalition
that's
partners.
not fair to the governors, because they're
Which
not here.
governors?
The ones you've called thieves.
including his governor, Waititu.
I said there are many governors in this country who are thieves.
Including his
They've
And
governor.
you
not been
have seen them.
convicted. They've not
Can
been
I say
convicted.
something? You know, these are three people.
A thief is not a thief because they've been
Ken.
convicted. If I steal your phone here now and I walk out with it, I'll be a thief. I don't have to
Ken.
have been convicted.
You know, these are three
There is
people.
evidence, there is evidence that many of them are thieves.
You
You know,
can, okay.
these are
Known thieves.
Okay.
In fact, the people who they were campaigning
These
with
are
in
heckler,
Kibra,
Bana. What is wrong with this
yeah,
guy?
are the people who told the
Tell
country
this
that
heckler
some
to
of
keep
them are
quiet now.
thieves.
All right,
But now they are all
let's give
white as snow
let's give
because they
Junaid
came
now
to
an
campaign for
opportunity
other thieves.
because
respond.
to respond to
Because I was
Barak.
interrupted. You
Yes.
know, these are people who are speaking the same language on this matter. Maybe they want to form a coalition going forward, which is good for the country. Which is good for the country, I'm saying.
Yes, it's
I have
good for
not
the
objected,
country.
which
Yes.
is good for the country. But let me tell you something. We have been sharing the political parties fund all along, when we were in court and when we were in NASA. But now, the political parties registrar herself is on record in Parliament. It's not me saying. I was in that committee listening to her. Even me, I was shocked when she said, give me time, please. I am in the Public Accounts Committee. You are a thief in Budget Committee. Listen.
Junaid, you're out of order. You're out of order. Junaid, you're out of
Listen,
order.
I was in that committee.
He's protecting thieves in the public.
No,
accounts
listen, let me...
Should I just end the show now?
No, let me say this. She appeared before the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes.
She said she does not have document from NASA
Okay.
detailing how we are supposed to share political parties fund. If the four parties want still to share, I have no objection. But
Okay.
let's sit
You
in
can
Java.
sit and
Let's
talk.
sit in Java and discuss as
Okay.
gentlemen.
But now,
Great.
But coming up with documents here will not help.
But I think he's explained
will not
that
help.
position, and we are more illuminated. Yes,
Yeah.
we have been more.
Let me finalize on this.
Yes.
Actually, when I heard about that issue of the registrar, I was shocked.
Yes. You also had the
I
registrar
followed
say he
up.
doesn't
Yes,
have it.
yes.
Okay.
I followed up with the
Yes.
registrar. She's new. She's a new lady, and initially
I think we go back to what Barak said about
absolutely.
that topic,
So what
so we
Barak
forget
said
about
about
it.
this, actually, this looks to me a genuine document.
Did you
from,
see it? Did you see the
I was
original
part
document?
and parcel.
So it's the, you
I
can
was
confirm
part
it's
and
the
parcel. I've
document.
not gone the details.
Yes.
But the registrar misled.
Okay,
She was
Parliament.
not aware.
Yes.
I called her. I spoke to her personally.
Okay.
Then she said when she gets back, because she's still new in the office.
Which is not an
And I gave
excuse.
her,
Which should
I
not be
even
an
gave
excuse.
her,
Yes.
I gave her how we used to share at the days of COD.
Great. Done.
Allow the registrar of political parties.
Yes.
It's not just being new. Is the intimidation that many of these government officers go through in the Public Accounts Committee, courtesy of Junaid.
These guys are...
Gentlemen.
He's the real goon now.
This is the real goon. I see we will not finish that discussion, but I'm glad Barak brought it up. Now, I want to discuss the last topic. Briefly, we have about 7 minutes on the clock. This is based on our cartoon of the week. Let's take a look at the cartoon. Then I'll give you each gentleman a moment to comment about this cartoon. It's coming on the screens. As a cartoon, the BBI report is out. The BBI detonation, Mheshimiwa Wamalwa, it will be even right behind me here. You'll be able to see it right behind you. It will be everywhere. Yes, that's the cartoon of the week. So I think the person who's saying it very well, Mheshimiwa Ishunga or Junaid, you can go first. That's our cartoon of the week.
Who are those?
That's even right behind me, Barack. You can see one right behind me if that one is too far.
I can see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the BBI report. That's, I presume, the majority leader. We have the BBI detonation unit, which I assume is Raila. We have Uhuru Kenyatta in gears. And then there are people, Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo right behind. Your analogy of the same. And William Ruto on the other side with the yellow tie.
And the other yellow
Why
tie?
is Wetangula not there?
That's Boni Halwale.
Oh, no,
Yes.
with the stones.
Oh, okay.
Carrying stones.
Okay.
My
Let me go
depiction
with
of
you.
the
Yes.
cartoon, one, if BBI detonation unit, I can see two people who are wearing detonation gear. So seems to me that those are the two people who know what is in that report.
Yes. That's why they're carefully, caged inside the...
yeah, you see they even
yeah,
have
the
to open
attire.
it with a
That's it.
stick.
Yes.
And everybody else is just watching and waiting to see what is in it.
Okay.
Does that also tell you maybe if the two guys are all attired in anti-detonation gear, all the others
Are exposed.
are exposed?
All right.
What does that say about it?
Okay. Mheshimiwa Junet.
I think I'm seeing two guys with gadgets, and he has said it looks like those are the guys who know more than the others, but there are also people around them. I can see Oscar Sudi there. I can see Khalwale.
The stone thrower. He has
The
stones
stone
in his
throwers
hands.
are there. Maybe they want to create violence when the report comes out. And these are the people who have been assembled to maybe fight the report by Tanga Tanga people. And I can see the yellow,
Oscar Sudi.
the yellow ties of URP has come back. So that means they may be regrouping to their original party to oppose the BBI. And he's even dressed in
The
yellow
yellow
today.
tie right here.
You can see the yellow tie here. So
Okay.
they might be regrouping to oppose the BBI.
All right. Mheshimiwa
Yellow is a beautiful color. I am Jubilee.
Chris, your analogy of that cartoon.
Yes, when I look at it, I can see the BBI report, and it's like everyone is keen to know what is the content.
Yes.
Because this report, to me, it's been long overdue. It should come out so that Kenyans can be able to comment from an informed perspective. So from the look of things, that's what I can say. It's like everyone is curious. I can see others far ahead. I can see two who are at advantage position in terms of trying to check what is there.
All right. And
Khalwale is a very brave one.
Yes, but he's carrying the stone.
He's carrying the stone.
He's carrying the
But
stone.
at least he's brave enough to just stand
Carry
in front of
stones,
the
right.
report, not knowing what is in it.
And carry
I
stones
can see Kalonzo Musyoka is hiding behind somebody.
Together with Musalia Mudavadi.
with Musalia.
Yes.
Basically, that is the cartoonist's perception. And whoever he wants to place or she wants to place, wherever they place them, it is their own perception. They may do so. Clearly, they are indicating here that there are two individuals who know that this thing is explosive.
Yes.
And they have come up already prepared for the explosion. Everybody else,
He's exposed.
those who are saying support, those who are saying we don't support, they are sitting ducks.
All right. Gentlemen, before we close, before I give you a moment each to close, 1 minute each, I'd like also to take a look at our segment this week. Who said what? Let's listen.
We want to insist we will not, as leaders of Jubilee, and we are saying this, and I'm saying this without blinking, as members of Parliament of Jubilee, we are not going to endorse anything of BBI or be part of anything of BBI until Raila Amolo Odinga renounces violence, asks for forgiveness, and confesses his sins. We will not accept, as the majority leader in the Senate, I will not table anything of BBI or handshake until the principal partner of handshake confesses his sins and asks for forgiveness from all Kenyans for what happened in Kibra.
Right, the majority leader in the Senate was speaking today in Kuresoi, so probably we got it a little late. You're not privy to what he said, but basically that's what he said. No support. All right, gentlemen, we're closing the show, and I'll give you an opportunity to close this for us. We spoke about violence, and probably you take an opportunity to renounce this violence and obviously split within NASA and the BBI report. So let me begin with Mheshimiwa Junet. Your final remarks. Yes, on.
Yeah, I
discussion.
see
Just
here,
1 minute.
Honorable
Just 1 minute.
Murkomen. I think Murkomen, the majority leader, is addressing his party leader because He's a partner in Handshake and BBI, so he's telling him that he's laying conditionalities for his party leader, that unless these conditions are met.
He's mentioned Raila Odinga specifically.
Yeah, he's just a scapegoat,
Okay.
but he's addressing his party leader, that unless these conditions are met, we are not going to support the BBI. And actually what they're doing is just to lay ground on how to oppose the BBI, the Tanga people. That's exactly, he has started it, and I'm told this Thursday they have a congregation at Bomas of Kenya in the guise of a thank you rally for Kibra voting, but it's to lay foundation and ground to oppose the BBI.
All right, that's your final remark.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ishungwa.
I can confirm
Oh,
there's no
probably
congregation
before I come
on
to you,
Thursday.
would you want to renounce the violence that we witness in Kibra?
I told you there was no violence.
There's no violence.
According to
all
me,
right.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, maybe as he was told, one day he will come to appreciate that there was indeed violence.
Yes.
But again, characteristic of Junet and lies, there is no meeting.
You know he'd want to
anywhere.
respond
I
if
want
you
to
take
respond.
I'm giving you
There is
final
If you
remarks.
attack me, I'll respond.
There is no meeting anywhere this Thursday.
there's nobody who
Thursday is
lies
a
more than
parliamentary
you.
day. There will be no meeting, and I think you'll be there. You can go to where he's saying there will be a meeting. You
At
bear
Bomas
me
on
witness
Thursday.
that there will be no meeting
It's the same
this
as the
Thursday.
Hemingway story.
There will be no meeting.
It's just the Hemingway's narrative.
Let him finish.
I think he's the one who mentioned Hemmings, not me, so he seems to know more than I do anyway. But let me say, just reacting to what Honorable Murkomen is saying, we must, as responsible leaders, renounce the violence that we saw in Kibra and violence at any other place in this country. 2, we must desist from threatening others. You have seen ODM threaten their coalition partners. You saw on Sunday the Honorable Aladwa threatening the president that you will asitu enjoy na kamata to enjoy wewe baba umuenjoy. And that is the same thing you heard about Sifuna, what Barack Muluka is saying.
Okay.
When an elder, in his wisdom, he said, when an elder sends little boys, children to speak for him, and he sits there in approval of what they are saying, it is not just bad manners.
Okay.
It is an approval of the bad manners of those children.
Okay.
When Aladwa sits and threatens President Uhuru Kenyatta in a rally in Kibra,
That's a lie.
when Sifuna
That's another lie.
threatens their coalition partners in Kibra, and the purported father, or Baba as they call him, is seated there nodding in approval, then you would know
Okay.
That's a lie.
there is a problem.
Mheshimiwa Chris.
Of course, we condemn the violence, and IBC is there to ensure elections are free and fair. And it must ensure in terms of preparation as we move towards the 2022. But one thing I want to say is about the ICPD, because it's something that I'm most passionate. In fact, when you invited me, I thought you were going to discuss about the ICPD, only to be told. Because to be the ICPD matter was something of global. And I want to thank His Excellency the President, because he did not commit some of the crazy issues of family, particularly when it comes to the issues of gayism, lesbianism, issues of abortion, issues of access to contraceptives. I didn't see his commitment. The commitment I saw was issues of doing the FGM, empowerment our girl child and all that. And I salute him for that, because I was worried. And we are guided by our constitution, we are pro-family, and we are pro-life.
Okay.
Thank you.
And indeed, when Barack Obama came here, I remember the president saying that those are non-issues.
Absolutely,
We'll not discuss them.
yes.
Right. Barack, final one.
Yeah, thank you. I think we need to stand very firm against violence. I'm surprised to hear that people are saying there was no violence in Kibra, when we have even seen them spotting some of the stuff that other people were robbed of. We have seen someone wearing a cape that was robbed from a member of parliament who was attacked. We have seen people saying, go out, chase them out of here. And I was myself a victim of that violence. I was stoned. I think these are serious things. I would appeal to leaders at the highest levels to take these things with the seriousness that they deserve, and let us stop making jokes about them. It's also important that leaders must learn to speak the truth. Make your argument and take it whichever direction you want to take it, but we must accept the truth for what it is. There was violence in Kibra. Finally, regarding BBI, the position which I have stated before, which is the position of my party and my party leader, we don't know what is in the BBI. When it has been placed before us, we shall interact with it, we shall interrogate it, we shall digest it. If it is a good thing for this country, we will ask everybody in the country to support it. If in our considered view, the report's recommendations are not good, we exercise our democratic right to say no.
All right.
There's something that Honorable Chris Wamalwa said, that his agents were 800 and IEBC confirmed that they voted. No, they voted for them and he got 260. I'm told Tangatanga bought the agents. That's the information I have, yeah. That's the information I have.
All right, and finally, let's do the final part of the show.
Tangatanga bought the agents, I'm told.
You know,
they were all paid.
We can't go back there. We can't go back there, Mheshimiwa.
IEBC, if there's anybody who had evidence that there was voter bribery, IEBC again is also there to go take it there.
Okay.
The violence was there. The police know. Their reports have been filed.
But the
no
agents
action
were
is
bought by
being taken.
Tangatanga. The agents were bought by Tangatanga.
Mheshimiwa, we can't go there. I want to thank you very much
They
for
were
coming.
paid handsomely.
Before
Toka uende nyumbani.
and